Welcome to TV Africa News. This is Africa Today. My name is Najuma Luima, but first the headlines. Bobi Wine and Riyadh agreed to meet EC over COVID-19 rules. Boko Haram claims kidnapping of hundreds of Nigerian students. U.S. Electoral College confirms Joe Biden's victory. Now the news in detail. Presidential candidates Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, aka Bobi Wine, and Patrick Amuriat have agreed to meet the Electoral Commission a day after they escaped the meeting and sent representatives. This was confirmed yesterday after representatives of the two opposition candidates separately met EC officials for about 2 hours at the Commission headquarters in Kampala. The National Unity Platform Vice President for Central Region, Mr. Mathias Impuga, told journalists that followed the closed-door meeting that they had agreed that their party candidate, Bobi Wine, will honor the EC summons today. Mr. Julius Galisonga, the FDC lawyer who represented Mr. Amuriat, also revealed that they had agreed that the party presidential candidate will attend the meeting with the EC tomorrow. Moving on, Boko Haram on Tuesday claimed it was behind the abduction of hundreds of students in northwestern Nigeria in what appears to be a major expansion of the jihadist group's activities into new areas. At least 333 students are still missing since the attack late Friday on All Boys Government Science School in Katsina State, hundreds of kilometers from Boko Haram's stronghold in northeastern Nigeria. The leader of Boko Haram, Abubakar Shekau, has revealed that their brothers are behind the kidnapping in Katsina in a 4-minute voice message. More than 100 gunmen on motorcycles stormed the rural school north of Kankara town, forcing students to flee and hide in the surrounding bush. Still moving on, the Electoral College decisively confirmed Joe Biden on Monday as the nation's next president, ratifying his November victory in an authoritative state-by-state repudiation of President Donald Trump's refusal to concede he had lost. The presidential electors gave Biden a solid majority of 306 electoral votes to Trump's 232, the same margin that Trump bragged was a landslide when he won the White House 4 years ago. Heightened security was in place in some states as electors met to cast paper ballots with masks, social distancing, and other pandemic precautions the order of the day. The results will be sent to Washington and tallied in a Jan 6 joint session of Congress, over which Vice President Mike Pence will preside. For all Trump's unsupported claims of fraud, there was little suspense and no change, as every one of the electoral votes allocated to Biden and the president in last month's popular vote went officially to each man. On election day, the Democrat topped the incumbent Republican by more than 7 million in the popular vote nationwide. In our business news today, East African countries have lost an estimated $7.8 billion worth of revenues on tax exemption and duty remission schemes over the past 5 years, that is from 2015 to 2019, translating to a revenue loss of $1.56 billion per annum, according to a study by the EAC Secretariat. The EAC's report on trade and investment over 2019 shows that Kenya and Tanzanians have borne the brunt of these losses by letting go an estimated $702.76 million and US dollar 497.18 million per year respectively. Rwanda has been losing on average US dollars 201.25 million per year on tax exemptions and duty remissions over the 5-year period, followed by Uganda at US dollars 80.9 million and Burundi at US dollars 79.86 million. The EAC has been implementing an exemption and remission scheme since the EAC Customs Union was established in 2005. The system involves granting exemption and remission to a number of products that is usually geared towards reducing local production costs and encouraging growth of the export market. Duty exemption schemes allow duty-free import of inputs which are used in the production of goods destined for the export market, while a duty remission scheme provides for post-export remission of duty on inputs used in the export product. Let's take a very quick short break. We will be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching TV Africa News, the right to know. In health news today, the majority of East African citizens will have to wait till 2022 to access the COVID-19 vaccine, as the available doses, specifically BioNTech and Moderna, have been pre-purchased by rich countries. This leaves the region at the mercy of the Gavi Vaccine Initiative, COVAX, co-led by the World Health Organization. While there are more than 230 COVID vaccine candidates, only 2 are being tested in Africa, in Kenya, South Africa and Egypt, limiting options available to African countries. Across the region, Kenya, Rwanda and Uganda are planning to access the COVID-19 vaccine via the COVAX initiative, which is designed to enable low-income countries to do so. So far, Oxford's AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine remains the convenient option, as it can be stored under the same cold chain storage used for other primary vaccines already in use across the region. In our sports news today, with the size and speed of players advancing by the day, rugby players risk suffering severe injuries. Rugby evolves around tackling an opponent head-on and using utter force, which leaves many vulnerable. One of the best ways of dealing with injuries is having trained medical personnel on each team ready to offer first aid during games, a stance Uganda Rugby Union has pushed for at every club. Over the weekend, rugby medics had another opportunity to enhance their skills with a level 2 clinic in Kampala. Dr. Faith Komagum, a young but experienced medic with the Betwe Corps and Rugby Cranes, led the training that attracted several club medics who aspire to work with national teams or at World Rugby tournaments. Now, before we end our news bulletin, let's take a recap of our top stories. Bobi Wine and Riyadh agreed to meet EC over COVID-19 rules. Boko Haram claims kidnapping of hundreds of Nigerian students. U.S. Electoral College confirms Joe Biden's victory. That was the news on TV Africa. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned, more programming coming your way.
This is Africa, and that was the news.